Hello and welcome to the Trading Post podcast, where we unlock the secrets of business-to-business trade, dive into powerful networking strategies, and share my exciting journey of using a podcast to market my business instead of relying on SEO. I'm your host, Trader Stu. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Trading Post. I am your host, of course, Trader Stu. And a couple of things I wanted to hit up real quick today. One, let's check what's happening around us. So if you're on the news, I'm not sure if this is national news. I think it is. It's a state of emergency, I guess. We were wondering if we're come into the office on Monday because the water main break. So that is hitting all the local businesses in Lake Orion, Auburn Hills, I guess part of Rochester Hills. Luckily not our office, but you know, when you're part of a barter network like Metro Trading Association, you stay aware of what's happening in the community, and it helps you spot opportunities and keep your businesses moving because it's kind of like a backup. So, you know, it's not much, I guess, in a way of bartering, and specifically with the trend of the news of the water main break could have helped some of the businesses there. But, you know, maybe because now that I think about it, I wonder. So one of the businesses over there was on the news and they were saying how they have a bunch of fresh food and it's all going to go to waste. And that might have been something that he could have called us for and asked him to help offload it. I'm not sure how that works legally. Like if one of our businesses was to buy their food from them on trade, you know what I mean? Like, he had to shut his doors on Mother's Day because of the water main break. He couldn't open because of obviously there's no water in the kitchens, let alone the bathrooms. So, and all the waitresses and waiters and bartenders and everything like that couldn't work. So they all lost money. Not that, you know, bartering would have helped them, but he said he lost $10,000 in revenue that day, you know, just in a few hours for brunch or whatever, Mother's Day. And now he's got a net loss because of all the food that's just going to rot there in his freezers or refrigerator. I'm not sure what he's going to do with all that. So it's too late now. I mean, that was over the weekend, but it just kind of makes you think. Initially, I was like, it doesn't really have nothing to do about it, but maybe it does. Maybe it could have. So there's a 42-inch water main break, if you didn't know that, in the area, and Lake Orion has a huge hole in the ground right now. And it runs through Auburn Hills. I'm not sure if the mall is even closed. You know what? Now I think about that. They have a huge mall in Auburn Hills. I wonder if they're open. But like I said, it's a state of emergency. Schools are closed. I know this because one of the brokers in our office has kids in the area, and their school is shut down for at least 2 days at minimum. So there's that. There's a boil water advisory going on. They've been urged not to even run the water if they can, because if there's an emergency, there'll be no water at the hydrants for putting out fires. I'm surprised actually there's no fire because, you know, I'm kind of a bit of I guess a conspiracy theorist. It's hard to say conspiracy theorist when everything is coming true. So is it theory or is it just like being pessimistically aware of things that are about to go wrong? So it's the perfect disaster. We got winds coming in. There's no water to fight fires at the hydrants. And I mean, if the Everglades can be on fire, why can't Lake Orion? I don't know. I don't know how the Everglades are on fire. It's tropical freaking rainforest down there. I know it's been hot and little water, but I'm pretty sure everything is still green. It's really weird. I used to live in Florida and it rained every day at like 1 o'clock or like 11 to 1 or something like that. It was like every day I had lightning within 10 nautical miles in the flight line. We all had to leave because somebody got hit by, I guess a bunch of crew got hit by lightning working on the tail of a C-130. And of course, the tail is sticking up in the air in the middle of the flight line and bam. You know, I'm not sure when you guys died or if they got hurt. I know they got hurt, but you know, anyway. So they were pretty big about lightning within 5 and 10 nautical miles when there's a storm coming in. And I used to work the flight line and I got to go inside every day and hang out for a minute until the clouds cleared. Anyway, I digress. What else we got going? Oh yeah, I already said high wind warning. So, and that's not even just Michigan, that's nationwide. That's according to Google Trends, 10,000 people looking it up lately. The storm impacts, power outage risks, and travel delays are going on. can throw off deliveries, appointments, and service calls. And that's where, I guess barter networks can shine in that area too, because they always call our brokers up and say, hey, stuck, can you help me send this notification out that I need to help, get some stuff off my kitchen or off my plate, because either my place is closed, like Lake Orion, they're shut down for 2 weeks. I mean, I know insurance covers a lot of that. I'm sure it does, but you still got, the overhead, you still got employees. So I know one of the employees I know the owner, I think it was a salon. You don't think about this, but one of the salons in Lake Orion was saying, hey, we're doing dry cuts, but we can't do colors because you're 20 minutes at the wash station if you get a color. So you can't, there's no sink there for water running and things of that nature. But, we could try, if they were members, call our brokers up and say, hey, could you send out an email or text saying that we need to get some people in here to do, some dry cuts or whatever like that. Or maybe, I don't know if they can travel, go to people's houses. I'm not sure what the legality is on that, but you got to do what you got to do. You got bills to pay, right? So I don't see why not. At least take some trade is better than nothing. That is for sure. All right, now on to something I'm excited about. The Trading Post family is growing. I should say Metro Trading Association's family is growing because, well, I guess not even a family. We're getting cousins. Like distant cousins, I guess, because we're hiring 1099 employees. So it's not really part of the family, but a distant relative, because, you're not W-2, let's be honest. But I'm trying something different. So historically, since 1978, Metro Trading Association has never hired outside sales reps on a 1099 basis. They've always been W-2. So that's what that means is salary plus commission. That's just something that Michael, the owner, has always just tried to, I believed in, that you should always be paid some kind of commission or some kind of salary plus a commission, which is awesome. I'm no stranger to commission only. When he, quote unquote, headhunted me, when I met Mike at the Chamber of Commerce in Flint, Michigan, I was commission only, working for the small business development team of the ADT small business and alarms and cameras. I was doing really quite well until I told my manager, I said, hey, well, this ain't fun for me no more. I'm leaving. And what they were doing was, my area was never capable of supporting a small business rep for more than a few months. It's sales, people get burned out. But for some reason, I just kind of I was rocking it out, man. So then they started, well, you get your, I think, 10 sales or 11 sales a month. If you get, that many, you get a huge bonus. I forgot what it was. It was attractive though. And then each sale above and beyond that was also very attractive. And I was hitting my bonuses every month. They didn't like that. So they put the rep in my area. Then I had to work double hard and share my leads with the rep and try and make the same amount of sales. And then they put another rep in my area and then another rep in my area. I'm like, all right, dude, it's not fun no more. Like, I was ticked off at the first one. Anyway, so what I'm getting at is I'm going to start on the innovation side of things as well and experiment with the AI employees. So I'm going to do 1099 employees as well as AI employees. I'm kind of doing a double tap here and just seeing how things go, because I don't want to say people are jealous, but they're definitely making it known and that they're waiting for more reps to join the area, or not reps, but members in the area of where they are, because, they want more folks to trade with. And I got to be honest, I'm just going to say it. I'm in Southeast Michigan, man. I'm in Metro Detroit. I don't really have to drive anywhere to bring in members. If you ever drive around here in Metro Detroit, there are tens of thousands of businesses, of small businesses, in a very short amount of time. It's crazy, because I'm from Frankenmuth, Michigan, and we have our town, and then you got fields all around us, cornfields or whatever, and so you just drive and it's just like nonstop businesses back to back. And I don't have to go to Genesee County up in Flint, an hour and 15 minutes away, to go and try and find people. I mean, I know it's kind of selfish, but also, gas is $5 a gallon, man. So I want to go drive, and spend $20 or whatever there and back, and plus driving all around up there, and then to try and find, a restaurant or somebody to sign up with me and join Metro Trading Association. I can try and do a phone call or email or whatever. So what I'm going to do now is just try and find folks that want to work up there. And this is great because a lot of people want the flexibility, but they don't want a full-time commitment, but they want some side come money. This is perfect because if you're already kind of in the B2B area and you're doing some kind of sale or what have you, then you could say, hey man, you should sign up for Metro Trade. And then, you get some commission on the side, right? You're going to get half of the application fee and then as well as some trade bonuses. And it's just perfect for someone like that. Or even like, I was kind of thinking of a hit up handshake. So intern style, right? So summer's here, college students need some money. Maybe they don't want to work full time or whatever at a place, and if they know some business owners in the family or whatever, I mean, or if they're entrepreneurs or small business want to get into it, what a great opportunity to go around, network, have a reason that you're networking. I've had people just say, hey, I'm in college, I'm just here to like, I guess, learn, and it's kind of awkward. But if you're there for representing a kind of Metro Trading Association, and then you're just gathering business cards as well, now you got a Rolodex, right, of business cards for the business you're about to open. It's perfect. So it's kind of, and then I'm going to try the AI employee thing. I've already had Perplexity run for me. I've done the agent thing for it, and it's worked pretty well. There's some tweaking because it doesn't sound like me when I post, when it posts for me on Alignable and LinkedIn, but it's good enough. I don't think anybody really notices the difference, but I do. So part of the benefit of utilizing a podcast for your marketing efforts is that in the advent of AI, unless you're also blogging, I do know that it can read your emails and follow your cadence as long as you're not copying, pasting whatever AI has already written for you. I mean, I know like I haven't had an original thought in 14 months almost, it seems like, because I can just have AI write all my emails for me, right? So, and it gives me all my ideas. I tell it what I want to do and it helps me out. So, huge time saver. If you ever like get overwhelmed and overtasked in your head, you're like, man, I wish I could do this. The AI, just get an AI, and it's like your companion, man. It's kind of creepy, but I'm into it. I'm here for it. So, try that. I'm going to see what happens. I was at a networking event, my networking event actually on Alignable. If you're not already connected to me on Alignable, do that and follow along and come to my event over at the Susie Q's kids over there on Mound Road. We meet on the second Monday of every month. And it's funny because it was a small gathering. I think there was 4 of us total for this networking event. So it was very nice and niche, I guess you want to say, and quaint. Generally, it's more than that. It's maybe, I don't know, I don't want to say, did I say more, 6 or 10? 10's pretty good. 20 is even better. But anyway, there was only me, a financial or HR guy, and a fitness girl, and I forgot the other guy's name. He does something with engineering. Anyway, and I learned a lot. I learned that the fitness girl uses, it's called Marbly or Marbleism AI, and you get 6 agents for the price of like $40 a month, man. And it does her phone calls, like it takes phone calls, her emails, outbound SEO, things of that nature. So I might be looking into something like that because the big part of my job is prospecting, and prospecting is exhausting. If you ever cold called and done cold emails and picking up the phone and all that stuff, it's exhausting. It wears on you after a while. You're first, for the first few months, you're pumped and you're cranking them out. But, I've been at this already for 2 years, and I'm just like, okay, I'm good with the cold calling thing. So that's why I'm hiring now. Like I'm kind of like burned out with doing that same repetitive, monotonous thing every day. I'd rather train staff. Back when I was doing this 10, 12 years ago, I was a manager back then for the same company, and it was so much fun. We had 6, 7 reps, and I loved it. I love leading like a Monday morning meeting, pumping everybody up, listening to music, get some donuts and coffee, and then crank it. It's just a good energy. I'm hoping I can do the same thing and replicate it post-COVID era. We'll see how it goes. It'll probably be more Zoom, which wasn't a thing back then. But, whatever, maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll get a mobile RV and like a party bus, and I don't know, get one of those that are like a toy hauler, and turn the part where the toy hauler is into like little office where we can just like meet up, and I just travel around to different zip codes and just have our, meetings in that. I don't know. It's an idea. But what else can we do here? Oh, I want to talk about the Strait of Hormuz real quick. So with everything's on the, tensions are there, blah, 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 right? Fuel prices, like I said, in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan right now, I paid $5 a gallon. I've seen it as high as 5.19, I think it was. We're not as high as Biden area, which was in 2022 was 5.22 actually, which is kind of funny. In 2022, the record was 5.22. And diesel was way over $6 a gallon, as well as premium, of course. But so with those prices, like I said, I'm not going to be driving around. So I'd like to have my AI do that for me, and my 1099 employees, my college students or folks that are looking for some side come money, right? So one of the smartest ways you can do to soften the $5 a gallon right now is by joining a barter group like MTA, because barter lets you trade goods and services without the cash, which means fewer unnecessary trips, less money spent on gas, and more value staying inside the business. So if you don't want to drive around looking for leads or whatever like that, if that's kind of your gig, then you know what? Look into joining us, because at $5 a gallon, $400 application fee doesn't take long to recoup at $5 a gallon. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to just do the REO Speedwagon, ROI on, if that's your thing. I like math. So, I'm a mathy guy when it's necessary. I wasn't back in the day, but once I started flying jets, I learned to enjoy math anyway. And did I already mention that Renaissance Festival is going to be who is sponsoring the show again this year? I'll be giving away tickets. They have given me like 50 tickets to talk about them on the podcast. So be sure to hit them up. The tickets are for specific dates. I haven't got them in hand yet. It's still a little early, but I think they open in August. I want to say August, end of August. Anyway, we'll find out. And so anyway, we'll be talking about them. I got to do my intro for that. And and before we wrap up, I wanted to thank everyone and all the sponsors of the show, because your contributions will help sponsor the folks that can't afford the $400 application fee. So what I'm doing is for $3 or to $10, if you click on the link, you can sponsor the show anywhere between $3 and $10, and I save up $400 worth of the application fee, and then that will get you, well, not you, but it'll help bring in a small business that can't afford the application fee of $400. So $10 adds up quick. When I get, 40 people, it's $400 right there. And then boom, I can waive my commission, is what I'm trying to say, and get them in, to Metro Trade. So it pays for everything the first year minus the 12% or whatever they sell. So I can't really waive that, but I can waive the $400 application fee, and I can waive the $19 a month cash and trade. So your contribution does help for the first year for $400, the $19 a month. So all they pay, if they get any business, is the transaction fee. That's it. So anyway, that's it for now. Whatever you do out there, be good or be good at it. Till next time, see ya.